And the brother from Baltimore was like, man, I need to tell you, you need to be careful of the Thai woman you with that I seen you with on the beach. Was she for short time or long time? He said, man, what you mean short time or long time? That's my girl now. She's like my rebound. I was dealing with a woman from Bangkok. She basically replaced her. He told him. Well, he took out his phone. He showed her pictures of he slept with her. And a lot of the guys he know, a lot of the black expats, they slept with her. And he was like, what the hell? They had been running through this woman like a pack of Save-A-Lot brand luncheon meat. What's going on, guys? This one and only Travel Time with Paul. Make sure you like and subscribe, share this video. Now, I know it's been a minute since I've been doing this, but I got loads of content this week for you guys. And quit asking me, how come you be making videos about traveling when you ain't traveling? I do travel, but I digress. Now, before we get into the topic of the video, I just want to say, guys, for the guys that's getting a passport, sometimes I understand why the passport bro movement even started in the first place. I mean, anytime you got female rappers like Sexy Red, if that's what y'all got to choose from, shit, I think I would be getting my passport too and getting the hell up out of here. This woman done went from Pound Town to ultrasound. Now, how you do all that when your career just got started as a rap musician? I mean, make it make sense. You already out here about to have children. What in the wretchedness? But I don't get into celebrity gossip. That ain't my type of content. Y'all know how I get down to what type of content that I promote. But I digress. Now, before I get into the topic of the video, I would like to give a mini monologue. I want to let y'all know that I'll be doing a live sometime this week about the Filipino bride who tried to kill her American husband that was in the Air Force or whatever. It seemed like she started off trying to put bleach in his coffee or whatever whenever they was over in Germany. And he started to realize that something tasted off about the coffee. So he ordered some test strips that had the coffee tested or whatever. And the whole time she had, but I'm not gonna talk about that story now. I'm just gonna give y'all an idea. I'll be going live talking about that this week. So be on the lookout for that. Now, for my guys that's just getting a passport or that's in the process of getting a passport, stop listening to the guys talking about some trying to discourage you from traveling to new countries, to meet new women or whatever. That's not what my video is about. My videos are to enlighten you guys on the game that women overseas run to get what they want or whatever, because you gotta remember, they come from a lot of times they come from a poorer background than women in Western countries or whatever. So they could be way more conniving and manipulative when it comes to getting whatever they want. And a lot of times the motive is money. And they'll get it by any means necessary. They'll sleep with a guy that's 900 pounds and be miserable just to make ends meet or whatever. So stop listening to all the guys thinking, cause we black and we so-called got a reputation of having a BBC, that women in Thailand love us, women in China love us, women in the Philippines love us. That's not true, guys. There's a thing called fetishizing. Now, we gonna get into the topic of the video. Topic of this video is, guys, don't bring your heart to Pattaya, Thailand 13. Well, I'm gonna play a little video for y'all, and whenever the video is done, I'm gonna give my feedback.
Spa for face, isn't it? Face spa treatment.
Now, guys, what you just watched on that video was a African-American, ADOS, MBA, hell, whatever you want to call them, sitting in the video, allowing this Thai woman to put her nasty 50 feet and toes all over his head and his face or whatever. Now, that's a damn shame. Now, I'm finna inform you guys who've never been to Thailand. Before I do that though, I saw a video not that long ago. I wanted to do a reaction to it, but I didn't want to put the guy on blast. It was another black guy from America. He let a Thai woman in Thailand record him sucking on her toes, and she was just sitting there laughing. And I thought to myself, don't they know the women over there lose respect for you once you do some crazy shit like that? And then y'all want to know what make it so bad? I was with a chick that was with another guy who did something similar but worse. But I ain't gonna go into details on this video. But let's just say she put the video and on some group, her and some other Thai females got or whatever, where they meet foreign guys and they record them doing strange things, and they made fun of this guy. He was the laughing stock for at least a couple of months. Now the guy in the video y'all just saw, Man, for all my future travelers that's planning on going to any country, especially Southeast Asia, do not let a woman degrade you like this, man. Y'all talk all the noise about a lot of women in the West, but damn, this is what y'all going overseas and letting these women do to y'all. Don't y'all know once y'all let a woman do some shit to y'all, she lose all respect for you as a man? It's like your man card is been revoked once you cry in front of one of these women overseas, and once you do some shit similar to what this guy just let this woman do to him in this video. Now, we're not gonna spend most of the video talking about this video, the video that y'all just watched. We gonna say that for another video, but we gonna go ahead on and carry on with the topic. All right, so let's get it. Now, we got an African-American guy, late 30s, 39 to be exact or whatever, just went through a divorce 8 months ago or whatnot. He's a Tacoma, Washington native, but he owned a few properties in Federal Way, Kent, Linwood, Washington, and Everett, Washington. But once he went through the divorce with his wife or whatever, he decided to not take everything to court or whatever. She had enough sense to agree with him to talk things out, and they agreed that she would take a few of the rental properties or whatever, and he would pay her only so amount per month or whatnot after the divorce. Now, him and his woman, they was married for at least 9 years or whatever. I think they got married when he was 27 or 28, something like that or whatever. She was from Stockton, California, biracial woman or whatnot. And he basically said the reason he had to end up filing for divorce because everything was peaches and cream. But for some weird reason, she went every time you look around, because he owned his own, he owned a few shops or whatever where they work on cars or whatnot, and a few more business. Every time you look around, she would go get a new car or whatever and just get unwanted debt, needless debt that they didn't need at the time, and didn't talk to him. Because you got to remember, guys, the key to every healthy relationship is communication. Without that, you got nothing. And they didn't have good communication amongst each other the last few years of their relationship. So he decided to divorce her, and he realized the dating pool had got a little bit more toxic than he remembered before he got married to his the woman that he was divorcing. So he felt like it was time to go overseas somewhere. He had been watching Charles Tyler and a few more YouTubers at the time or whatever while he was married, because he was just planning his exit from the 4th or 5th year of being with this woman or whatever. So he started watching other YouTubers. But he said one day he was riding his green Mercedes, and there was this YouTube, the way he edited his video was so stylish. It caught his attention. It was almost like a reality TV show, something you would see on TLC network. So one thing that stuck out to him, the YouTuber did a whole documentary about how he met his Thai wife or whatever. He said a YouTuber met his Thai woman around 2019, 2020. It was before the pandemic. But as I carry on with the story, y'all don't know what YouTuber I'm talking about, who inspired him to go to Thailand. And he said one thing that caught his attention, the woman was able to submit to everything that he wanted, to all the YouTuber needs. She even learned how to cook American style chicken wings. And she put her hair in cornrows to look like a mixed breed black woman from America. Now, if you don't know by now, I'm talking about Zoom to Thailand. That's who inspired this particular guy to go to Thailand. He said he never missed a day of watching none of this guy content or whatever. So it motivated him to get his passport or whatever. Well, he had his passport, but he needed to get it renewed to start back traveling again. Now, before he met his wife, he would make weekend getaway trips to Vancouver and Toronto, but Vancouver is not that far from where he was living at in Tacoma, so he would go there every weekend to get his rocks off. This was in the early 2000s, or mid 2000s. So he decided to take that trip to Thailand, but before he did that, he said he had been messing with Asian women in the Seattle, Tacoma area. He would get a few Vietnamese, Japanese mixed women, things of that nature, but they was 2nd and 3rd generation American. But he noticed every time he met one, they would always take him out to eat, and he never had to reach for his wallet. And every time he went for his wallet, they would tell him, no, it's fine, I got this. Or sometimes they would Dutch with him on the meal. They would go half on the meal. Well, he figured, well, when I get to Thailand, maybe I can meet women just like this, or maybe even better. But then he said, well, Thailand being a poor country, I'm not expecting a woman to pay for my meals at all, really. I got this. I understand that the Thai baht is worthless compared to the US dollars or whatever, the USD. So he pack up things or whatever, goes to Thailand or whatnot. Now, he didn't use any dating sites to meet any type of women or whatnot. He basically went there. He went to Bangkok first, When he went to Bangkok, he asked around what would be some good hot spots to go meet women or whatever. Well, he didn't have to look far. He went to a restaurant not that far from the Nana Plaza area. And as he was at the restaurant, there was a few waitresses working there, and there was one in particular. She was short. She had to be every bit of 5'2", 5'3". She kept looking at him, and she caught his attention. Well, he struck up a conversation with her, and they hit it off. Now, he said the relationship was good, but it was boring to him. It didn't excite him. It didn't bring him the excitement and joy that he was looking for. So he later started seeing other women or whatever. It motivated him to want to start going to like the local bars and stuff. Now, he decided he wanted to try a few of the local bars in the area where he was staying at, the area where he had his Airbnb. So he decided to go to a few go-go bars in the Nana Plaza or whatever, at the Nana Plaza Mall. Didn't really get any luck there because a lot of the women was charging more money than he was trying to spend, and he wasn't really looking for a freelancer. So he decided he wanted to go to a few spots on Sweet Levy. So he went to one spot in particular where the women was dressed all nice. A lot of them looked like they could have been doctors, lawyers, nurses, dental hygienists, any type of white collar job, you name it. All these women looked like they had a white collar background, and they was well spoken. Their English was on point. So he walked in there, he stood by the wall for 15, 20 minutes to analyze the scene. And there was one woman in particular that stuck out to him. He said she had on a red blazer and a skirt or whatever to go with it. She kept looking at him, he kept looking at her. So he goes up to the bar and asks her, could he buy her a drink or whatever? She said yes. They struck up a conversation or whatever. Everything was going great. She asked him, where are you living at? He told her in an Airbnb not that far from here. We could probably catch an Uber to get back to it, but it wouldn't take us that long to get to it. It's not that far from here. So she said, cool, I'm tired of being at this bar. I've been here for a few hours now. Can we go back to your place? He said yes. Before she could finish her drink, she told him, I want you to know, I am a school teacher in the daytime, but right now I'm working girl. He said, working girl, what do you mean? Freelance. He thought about it for a second. Then he asked her, what are you talking? What are your prices? Well, she's told him. He thought about it. He said, well, hell, I didn't really want to spend any money tonight, but damn, this woman, she fine as all outdoors. He said, okay, let's go for it. They got their drinks, down their drinks, and they left or whatever. Went back to the Airbnb or whatever. One thing led to another. They did what adults would do. They departed, she went her separate ways, and he got ready and went to take a shower for the next day or whatever. He decided he was tired of going to the little nightclubs and meeting bar style women or whatever, or women that was freelance. So he decided to go to a place to shoot pool. And as he went to the place to shoot pool or whatever, there was an older Thai woman that kept staring at him or whatever. So she asked her, where are you from? He told her the United States or whatever, Washington State, because he probably knew she wouldn't knew anything about Tacoma, but most likely she probably heard about Seattle. So she told him she had a niece that was around his age she think he would be interested in getting to know her. He thought it would be a good idea. So less than 15, 20 minutes later, she had her niece come up to the little spot that they was at where they was shooting pool. That man said her niece pulled up, and when the niece showed up or whatever, she tapped him on the shoulder. There's my niece. Go introduce yourself, or better yet, I'll introduce you guys. He turned around, and it was 8, 9 p.m. It was nighttime at this time. This man thought the sunrise he thought it was sunny days once again. He said when he looked at this woman, it was like looking at the sun. He couldn't stare too long. He was like, damn, I've seen some beautiful Thai women since I've been in this country, but man, this woman right here, man, this woman make Jada Pinkett look like Nutty Professor. So to describe her a little bit better, she was one of them mocha complexion Thai women or whatever. And she had the dimples or whatever, the hair in the middle of her back. She was tall, she was every bit of 5'6". Turns out she was 28 years old. And the man said when he saw her, he thought he was gonna have to call 911 to help get his jaw off the ground. He couldn't believe what he saw. He was like, wow, this woman is stunning. Why is she single? He thought. Turns out she spoke good English too or whatever. She approached him, so did he, Kai. He said, hello, how you doing? So they meeted and greeted. They got to talking, and he said, it's like every time he looked into her eyes, he saw these sparkles. It's like he could see his reflection in her eyes, because it's like she just had this glow about herself. So he was sold. And he said the first 40 minutes of talking to this woman, he was ready to get on his knees right then and there and ask her, will you be my wife? But he didn't do it. He just wanted to get to know her better. He thought, why should I continue to look for any other woman while I'm over here in Thailand? I think I found what I'm looking for. So it was like he didn't see no flaws in his women. He didn't see no flaws in his woman, mentally or physically. She couldn't do no wrong in his eyes. And she had a soothing voice. She had a voice that would put you to sleep and you can listen to her for days. Her voice was pleasant to the ears, he thought. So it turns out she had one son in Isan. And she went through a crazy divorce at 24 in Isan or whatever with a Thai man. He never asked her why or what happened. He just didn't give a damn. He was ready to get her back to his Airbnb and go all in like Bruce on a big plate of hot wings. So he asked her, what are your plans for tonight? She said nothing. She asked, what are your plans? He said nothing. He said, well, would you like to go back to my place? She said, sure. He looked over at her aunt. Her aunt looked at him and smiled, and looked at her niece and smiled. Little did he know then, it was all a scheme, but he just went in on it. He was new to Thai culture and Thai politics. So, but in his eyes, everything was innocent. Little old Thai woman thought he was attractive enough to be hooked up with her niece. So he didn't think nothing was criminal about that. But oh, listen to the story. So they get back to his place. But on their way back to his place, he noticed something. They was in an Uber. She wouldn't stop looking at this guy. Now he said it creeped him out, but not in a bad way. She kept her eyes on him and she was just smiling. She just had this blush that would make a man rock hard to run through a brick wall like a Korean soldier. So they get back to his Airbnb or whatever. And he thought, well, what is there to talk about? We talked about everything at the bar. Let's just get down to business, he thought. So he went to take her clothes off. She grabbed his hand gently and soft. She said, no, I got this. She took her own clothes off. Then she walked a few feet out in front of him and she turned around like she was getting ready for a beauty pageant. And he looked at her, he thought, damn, this woman is finer. And I mean, it's like she just get finer by the goddamn second, he thought. So he took his clothes off. She looked at him, she like, oh my, big dick. And he thought, really, you think so? But he had to remember, he was in Thailand. Hell, a hot dog from Save-A-Lot that's 89 cents is probably considered big to them, he thought. So he went in for a kiss and he went in gently. He thought she was gonna stop him. And he thought she was gonna turn him down or whatever, because he used to be, when he was in Washington State, some of the Asian women he met, they would put him in a situation like that, get naked, but they didn't want to kiss. But they didn't mind getting on their knees and giving him some mouth lip service. So he went to kiss her. She kissed him. And as he started kissing his woman, he thought, damn, where you been all of my life? He said that kiss felt like a hit of 1984 cocaine straight from Bolivia. He thought, damn, I'm 39, about to be 40 in 6 more months. What do I have to lose? I just went through a crazy divorce. Man, it don't hurt to take another chance. This woman is fine. She's everything that I really need. What could I ask for? What else could I ask for, he thought. So after they got done kissing, he picked her up, gently put her on the bed, and opened up her thighs like Walgreens at 8 a.m. in the morning on the west side of Chicago. Went for a nice French kiss between her thighs. And before he went for the French kiss, he thought, damn, I'm about to eat this woman like a slice of Jamaican rum cake, he thought. Where he went to town between her thighs or whatever, and the nice, beautiful sounds of her voice filled the condo, filled his condo. And he thought, man, just the sound of her voice just made me just want to, it just inspired me to want to just keep going. But I'm ready for something else. And that something else, he thought, was flipping her over and turning her over so her backside could be facing him, and he was gonna turn her over and he was gonna eat that booty like a bowl of California strawberries. But then he thought, nah, I like her, but I don't know if I like her that much, but I wouldn't mind doing it though. Plus, I'm pretty sure she clean, because when we first got in, she went to the restroom and she used the sprayer to spray herself. So I guess it wouldn't hurt. So he said, nah, forget about it. I won't eat the booty this time. I could do it in the second round or next time. I'm just gonna enjoy giving her some mouth and lip service. Then after I'm done with her, I'm gonna see what her mouth do, he thought. Well, after he was done, he had already experienced a few Asian women or whatever, and he thought they mouth and lip service game wasn't that great so far, the Thai women that he met before he met this one. But boy, let me tell you, he said this Thai woman could suck just as good as any American woman, he thought. She almost sucked the goddamn soul from 2 centuries ago out of him, he thought. So whenever she got through giving him mouth and lip service, he went to penetrate. But before he went to penetrate, he went to go reach for a condom. She grabbed his wrist gently again. You don't have to use that. I clean, she said. He said, you sure? Cause I'm clean too. She said, yes. He said, okay. Usually the Thai women he met in the past, the little time he spent in Thailand, he had to use lubricant to penetrate them or whatever, because there was no type of chemistry and there was no type of connection between them, and it was work only and they was on the job, except for the one he met at the restaurant, the waitress. But this one, he didn't have to use a goddamn thing. So he penetrated it. It was like a butter knife cutting through top of the line butter. So he was like, oh my goodness. But he said it was tight. It's his mongoose bike from 1995. But he worked his way in. And he said the sound from her voice was something to kill for. So we not gonna talk about no more of the adult scene, but y'all get it though. So as time went on, they went every day FaceTiming each other, whatever, talking via line. And whenever they couldn't talk via line, they would talk on WhatsApp or whatever. 3 weeks passed by and everything's still going perfectly fine. It's going great. One day they meet. He noticed her demeanor was a little different. It changed a little bit. He asked her, what's wrong with you? She didn't respond. He asked again, is everything okay? She asked him, do you love me? He said, yeah. How come you asked me that? She asked him, then how come you haven't taken care of me yet? He asked her, what do you mean? She said, I need 30,000 baht. Now 30,000 baht is around, I want to say 1,000 US dollars or something like that. I think it is, it's a little over it. So he like 30,000 baht. He took out his phone, he go to the currency app, the currency exchange app, the currency conversion app. He like, good Lord, what the hell? Why the hell she needs so much money already? Damn. But he didn't ask any questions. He went to the ATM machine and he gave it to her. And all of a sudden her mood changed and she was in good mood again. And they had the best sex. He had the best sexual healing that night or whatever in return to giving it to her. Then next day go, he didn't hear from her. He called her, it goes to voicemail. When he called online, it kept ring or whatever. 72 hours go by, he like, damn, I haven't heard from her. I haven't even received a text from her. Week go by, he haven't heard from her. Now picture y'all, the whole time she had him blocked. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all why she had him blocked. The whole time she was kicking it with that Italian guy who was down there old enough to be her daddy, pulling the same long con on him. So he goes out or whatever, he have a few beers or whatnot. He goes back to his Airbnb and watch a few movies on his Netflix or whatever. Where he gets a call 11 p.m. and his eyes light up like butterflies. He thinking, oh wow, it's her, my baby. She called him, he like, what's going on? Everything okay? I haven't heard from you in a while. Well, she came with some sorry story saying her mom been sick or whatever. They had to amputate her leg. Her mother is diabetic or whatever. And he fell for it. He didn't even do no investigation. He didn't even quiz her. He just took her word for it. So she asked him, could she come over? He said, yes, that's fine with me or whatever. Well, she gets over and he noticed something was a little off about her or whatever. She didn't want to have sex that night. And then the other time, he didn't even have to ask for it. She was already ready. So they have a small argument about it or whatever. And make a long story short, she started guilt tripping him again or whatever. Then she started saying she went from asking him for 30,000 baht first time, now went up to 50,000 baht. Now at this point, he concerned, he like, I don't hear from you almost 2 weeks now. Hey, now you want more money? What's really going on? Well, had he watched two perspectives before he went to Thailand, he would have been already on top of game or whatever. Had he watched my videos too, he probably would have saw all the red flags in this woman or whatnot. But I digress. So he didn't give her the money. So she gave him the silent treatment for 5 minutes, folded her arms. Then after a while, she said, I must go home now. He was like, you leaving already, but you just got here not too long ago. She didn't give him no explanation. She just get up. He was going to get up and stop her, but he said, forget it. I won't say anything to her. So she left and went home. He tried to call her on WhatsApp. He was blocked again. When he went to click on her profile to double check to make sure he was blocked, her picture didn't show. That's how he knew he was blocked. He like, what the hell going on? Well, the next day he gets a call from her. We must leave Bangkok now. He like, why the hell should we leave Bangkok? Don't you live here? Your family is here. She like, no, if you love me, you listen to me. I must leave Bangkok. Well, he told her, well, come over. Where can I meet you? I can meet you somewhere. He thought. She said, I can't explain right now. I'll talk about it later. Well, long story short, He packed this thing and he let the owner of his Airbnb know that he needed to leave Bangkok. And the plan was to move to Pattaya. Long story short, they leave Bangkok and they go to Pattaya. What happened is she stole the Italian guy passport and at least $500,000 baht or whatever. When he was asleep or whatever, she stole all his belongings, all his valuables or whatever. And they got a hotel in Pattaya for the first few nights so he could have time to look for a Airbnb in Pattaya. So he noticed what the hell? Where the hell you get all this money from? Because a lot of it was in cash or whatnot. Apparently, the Italian guy was so desperate and just happy to have her around, he was dumb enough to get his woman access to his safe or whatever. And that's where he was keeping all his money, his baht. So she stole $500,000 in bahts. And they went to Pattaya. Now this was his first time in Pattaya. He thought, okay, this is nice. I should have came to visit here before I met her, because I like the beaches, he thought. But he noticed it was more of a red light zone than Bangkok was. Well, when they got to when they got to Pattaya, she didn't open up. She didn't explain to him what happened. She just came up with that something drastic happened in Bangkok, so we need to come here. We could go back after I know the coast is clear. Well, they have some of the best sex again. He goes to sleep. He wake up. She's gone. He like, where the hell she's at? He called her. He's blocked again. Call her. He blocked. He like, oh, I just don't get it. 48 hours go by. He didn't hear from her. So he thought, damn, I done cancel my Airbnb and everything in Bangkok just for this woman, and this is what she do? Turns out she went back to Bangkok or whatever. I guess her and the Italian guy, they talked it over or whatever. He decided he wasn't gonna press charges or anything on her. So she went back to give him his bot back. At this time, he decided, the guy from Tacoma, he wasn't going back to Bangkok because he was feeling a vibe in Pattaya. So he decided to get a Airbnb in Pattaya. So he get the Airbnb or whatever. It's not that far from the beach. It's a long beach road, but it's a noisy area or whatever. And it was costing him around, I want to say 13,000 baht per month. Well, he gets a call from her again. He asked her, where are you? She told him she was back in Bangkok. But I thought she was in Pattaya. Now at this point, he like, you know what? I about had it with this woman. So he cussed her out. They have a little back and forth. He hung up on her and he blocked her. Well, he didn't hear back from her for a couple of weeks. But at this time, he goes to a little spot on Walker Street or whatever. And it's this big booty Thai woman. She was built like a black woman from the late 90s and early 2000s. But she had a smile to kill for. She caught his attention. Before he knew it, she was staring at him, and it's like he thought he was gonna have to go to the nearest 7-Eleven and get some Windex to wipe her eyes off of him because she wouldn't stop staring. This woman didn't even blink. So he goes over to her and he struck up a conversation with her. They hit it off and they build this chemistry with each other, where he take her back to his Airbnb and he get his rocks off. Before he knew it, she told him about a spot called the Marjorie Bar, where he had never heard of it. So this when the Marjorie Bar was still around at this time. So he goes to it and he meet a few of the brothers, and he thought, damn, okay, I didn't know it was this many Black American expats in Thailand, not in a city this small anyway. So he get to networking and he meet a few. Then they told him about a few of the better beaches he could go to that was better than the beaches in Pattaya. Well, one day he was out with this big booty Thai chick, and he walking on the beach and he ran across another American brother from Baltimore. And they hit it off or whatnot. And the brother was with a Thai woman of his own. But he noticed the big booty Thai woman that was walking with him she kept looking awkward or whatever. He couldn't figure out why. Later on, he ended up kicking it with the brother from Baltimore. Then the brother from Baltimore was like, man, I need to tell you, you need to be careful of the Thai woman you with that I seen you with on the beach. Was she for short time or long time? He said, man, what you mean short time or long time? That's my girl now. She's like my rebound. I was dealing with a woman from Bangkok. She basically replaced her, he told him. Well, he took out his phone and he showed her pictures of he slept with her, and a lot of the guys he know, a lot of the black expats, they slept with her. And he was like, what the hell? They had been running through this woman like a pack of Save-A-Lot brand luncheon meat. So he like, oh shit, damn, that's how these women get down over here? Man, what the fuck, he thought. So he wanted to confront her about it, but at this time she wasn't picking up her phone. So he thought, well shit, damn, another one bite the dust. Now guys, that's the end of that story. And I want to tell y'all guys, do your homework, do your research, do some investigations before you go to any of these countries you plan on going to. Cause it could have got ugly for that guy. He could have lost out on a $500,000 bots like the Italian guy did, but he didn't. Instead, he avoided a whole lot of headaches, compared to a lot of the guys I talk about or whatever. There was a guy that was in a situation, I want to say was a guy from Sweden. He was able to avoid a goddamn thunderstorm or earthquake. He met a Thai chick. He ended up having feelings for her. Married her and everything, didn't even vet her. But then he know there was something off about her whole attitude. And another YouTuber talked about this on his channel, whatever already. But I was just gonna make the story short. He hired a private investigator, like all you guys should do before you marry a woman, not after you marry her. But good thing he did when he did, because he didn't invest any more money into her, and he didn't lose out on a whole lot of money or whatever. He saved himself a headache. So he hired a private investigator. Turns out this woman was a career freelancer. She got busted in Japan with her Japanese husband running a brothel with 20 to 30 Thai women from Thailand. And she ended up going back to Thailand and getting a lot of the money she had saved up from all the money she made in Japan. Then she went to Australia and did the same thing and got busted over there. So he thought, what the hell have I got myself into? She was a career criminal, basically. So he left her without even telling her. He had already had a child with her, but he was just trying to avoid that shitstorm before it got any worse than it already was getting. And ended up meeting a younger Thai woman at a university and married her and haven't had any issues with her. I think he's been with her 18 years. So yeah, there's some success story too, guys. All the stories ain't bad. So make sure you like and subscribe, share this video, and until next time, I'm out. 1.